knowledge is not power. Implementation, the power is in implementing what you have learned of that investment. But it takes a lot of people too long to make the decision. The difference between people who succeed and the people who don't succeed is just the doing. Let me tell you, the number of people, just start. Because again, how are you ever gonna know what you're good at if you don't do it? Like, some succeed and some don't succeed. Okay, so if you're new here, my name is Julia. I make content around money, entrepreneurship, personal growth, you know. So if you're interested, you kindly subscribe and stay and join us. Okay, so as the topic suggests, we are talking about the reason why most people fail to succeed, and I'm going to go right into the video. Number one, you start something and change before you see results. Okay, so anytime you start anything, if it's a business, if it's school, if it's anything that you decide to start today, you have to give yourself, at least for me personally, what I think, you need to give yourself between 3 to 5 years before you decide to change to something else. Okay, because I've seen the tendency of people starting something, within 6 months they leave that, they start another one. So you're always changing. How are you ever gonna know the results if you don't give it time to marinate? You see, anything you start, you have to give it time to marinate. And also, when you start something, there's a learning curve of that, anything that you start. So you're going through the learning curve to understand it, then to be able to implement it, and then to be able to see results. Okay, so in most cases, I've seen businesses where they start and then within a few months they close. Then he starts something else, then you close. So the reason why you will never succeed in whatever you're doing is because you refuse to give yourself time to see results. Okay, I'm going to I'll give you an example. When I was starting this YouTube channel, I said, Julia, you have no reason at all to stop, not unless you have done at least 3 years, okay, for you to see results. If I have goals, if I have set goals for in whatever thing that I do, I tell myself, Julia, you have to give yourself time before you can see the fruits of your labor. Because when you're starting, you didn't know anything. Like when I was starting YouTube, I didn't even know how to edit. I didn't even know how to shoot a video, how to talk to a camera. So how can I expect results the first month, the second month, okay? Because it's a learning curve. I'm on my learning journey. Then I will get good, then get better. Okay, so once you get better, then you can start expecting results, which does not come within the first 2 or 3 months. It takes time in anything that you start for you to be able to see results. Okay, that's number one. My goal for YouTube is to get to 100K. Will I get to 100,000 if I don't give myself time? It is not an overnight success. Anything you start, you have to give yourself time for you to see results. Okay, that's number one. Number two, procrastination, if that is the word. Oh my God, the number of people that take so long to implement anything. Like you know what you want, you have an idea of what you need to do for you to achieve that thing that you want to achieve, but it takes so long for most people to implement what they already want to do. Okay, so you know, if you went back to school, you can be promoted, but you're still thinking about it. You know, if you started a certain business, you can get an income in the next 1 or 2 years. You know, if we invest in anything, do an investment, maybe in any platform, money market or whatever, then you will get results of that investment. But it takes a lot of people too long to make the decision. The difference between people who succeed and the people who don't succeed is just the doing. Let me tell you, the number of people I know that are so good, if they only started what they wanted to start, I can't even explain. We know people who are very smart, people who are, they are so good at what they do. You're just like, just start. Because again, how are you ever gonna know what you're good at if you don't do it? Do it, fail at it, start another one, do it. That is the only difference between people who are successful and people who are not successful, is because you keep starting and eventually something will stick. When you keep telling you keep doing different things, you do something, you try, you do your best at that, and let me tell you, you never leave anything that you started without an experience. Even if it's not successful as you will want it, or at the back of your what you had anticipated, you never leave that experience the same, because you get knowledge out of that business, you get knowledge out of that thing that you started. So you never leave at zero, you always leave with more information than you got into. Okay, I know most people are so afraid of starting anything because, you know, it's fearful, honestly. And let me tell you, if at the back of your mind you're telling yourself you're not going to start because you're fearful, here I am, when I'm seated here shooting this video every day, I'm like, breathe in and out, breathe in and out, breathe in. Like, you know, everybody who started anything, they started from a place of fear. Please don't be lied to that people have the courage to do the things that they do. Is you do it afraid. You do it, but you have to launch. You have to take off for anything to happen. Okay? So, I'm going to say this. When you start something, you have to start it. You have to launch. You have to propel. You have to push yourself to get out or to start that something for you to see your life changing. Because if you go to work, you come home, you chill, you go back to work, you come home, you chill, you go back to work, how is your life ever gonna be different if you don't do anything different apart from what you are currently doing? So in anything that you want to start, just start. Don't be afraid. The learning is the process, not before. You cannot learn anything before you start. The learning comes through the process. Okay, so I'm learning things about YouTube because I started YouTube. I will never have gotten an opportunity to learn things about YouTube if I didn't start YouTube. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you have to start to learn. So I'm learning so many things. I don't think the person who started YouTube in February is the same person that is here today. Let me tell you guys, I have learned so much. I can even teach people about starting YouTube. Like, crazy, yeah? It's crazy. But you have to start either way, okay? That's number 2. Number 3, to acquire knowledge. I'm gonna say that again. The reason why you're not successful and the reason why we are not successful is because you refuse to acquire knowledge. Knowledge is not power. Implementation. The power is in implementing what you have learned. Okay? So if you go to school and you never use that knowledge to implement anything, knowledge is not power. The power is in implementation of what you have learned. Guys, that is where the superpower lies. If you learn and learn and learn and learn and never use what you have learned, it is of no essence. If you learn about what can I use? An example. If you, for example, you go to YouTube to learn about something, okay? So YouTube has so many tutorials of how to let's say, for example, how to bake a vanilla cake. Yeah? So you go to YouTube, you learn how to make, they have tutorials about how to make vanilla cake. So you learn about how to make vanilla cake. Knowledge, and then you don't implement. So you have to learn about how to make vanilla cake and go to your kitchen and bake vanilla cake. That is where the power lies. It is you learning and implementing what you have learned. Now let me tell you, you have to acquire knowledge for you to propel forward. Let me give you another example of, can you imagine someone like Warren Buffett? I think he's the world richest man alive. He reads 500 pages per day. He reads 500, maybe even he's increased by now, 500 pages of books, pages. He reads 500 pages per day. And here I am. I read 10 pages. How are you ever gonna catch up to such a person? Because knowledge, you have to get knowledge, you have to acquire knowledge for you to shift, to grow, to be successful in whatever area. Even to be successful as a parent, you have to learn parenting materials. You cannot be successful in whatever section you want to be in if you do not acquire knowledge. Okay, so make it a point to acquire knowledge. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, people refusing to invest in knowledge. So the first one, you have to acquire knowledge. Number 2, you have to people refusing to invest in knowledge. It means, let me tell you, there's so many information out here that some is for free and some is not for free. There are people who have tutorial about doing things on YouTube for free, but they go a step further, that if you want to join a certain program, you have to pay a certain amount of money for you to dive deep into whatever knowledge you want to acquire. Okay, so there are so many platforms that requires you to pay very small amount of money for you to know better, to understand the thing that you want to understand better. Okay, for example, there's Google Career Certificate where they teach you about digital marketing, data protection, and so many things. But there's a certain fee that you have to pay for you to do that course. Okay. Number 2, there's Skillshare, where you pay like, I think, 1,000 something, where for you to get knowledge on certain things. Now, my people, how much is a pizza? The large pizza, I think 1,200. I'm not sure. I think 1,200. Correct me if I'm wrong. A pizza is 1,200, which you're willing to spend every weekend to go and eat pizza. But you will not pay 1,200 to learn something on Skillshare. Are you getting what I'm saying? The reason why you're not growing and the reason why you're not successful is because you refuse to invest money in something that will give you knowledge, in something that will empower you to be better in whatever you want to grow in. Okay, let me give you another example. When I wanted to do importation, to do China importation, okay, I found that there are so many tutorials on YouTube about how to import from China, but people are not so, the knowledge was not so, what can I say, it was so hard to follow through when you're doing it alone. Like for you to learn on your own how to do the importations, how to source people from Alibaba, what people are legit. So that information is on YouTube, but it's not comprehensive. Yeah, that's the word. It's not comprehensive. So you have to take a step further. So I had to pay 8,500 for a training for how to source from China and to import things from China to Kenya, because this person had a deeper knowledge, has an experience of how to do these things. So there's tutorial which is for free, but I realized I could not understand exactly how it is done, because they give, I don't know, they don't give complete information. But this person had full information as to how to import from China. She has contact list of suppliers of how to import in China. So I had to go a step further to pay 8,500 to attend her classes to get full comprehensive information on how to import from China. Now, you want to learn how to, I don't know, whichever skill you want to learn, you might find it on YouTube, but it's not informative enough for you to do that thing. And there are classes of how to, and someone is asking for a small fee for you to learn it. You refuse to invest in knowledge. My dear, you're going to be stuck for a very long time. I tell people you have to invest in the thing that can propel you forward, okay? And that's why when you go back to school, you have to pay to go back to school, because there is knowledge that you can get for free and there's knowledge that you have to pay for you to acquire knowledge. That's what I'm gonna say. So you have to invest for you to grow. Number 3 or number 4. One of the reasons why you're not successful is because you're giving to your vices. This is what I mean. I came to realize that it's not your strength that will propel you forward. It's your weakness. Okay? It is a deeper realization of where your weakness lies is what is going to bring you down. Okay? So as much as you know what is your strength, also get to know what is your weakness, because your weakness will determine if you grow or if you become successful or not. Okay? For example, there are people who are very good, and you've seen these people who are smart when it comes to numbers. They are so good in mathematics, they are good in this, but you find they are also the biggest drunkards. That's the word. I'm sorry if I'm using it wrongly. Like, they are addicted to drinking. So there's a borderline between genius, people who are very smart, and people who indulge in other vices like alcohol, drugs, and all those things. So are they smart? Yes. But do they have this thing that can bring them down? Yes. Are you seeing? So you have to know not only what you're good at, but what can also bring you down. Okay? For you to be successful, you have to be awake to your weaknesses. You have to see, this is what can bring me down, and how can I avoid it completely? So if you know you have a problem with, there's a possibility you can end up being addicted to drinking, then avoid it completely. Like, don't even indulge. Don't even try to say, I can only take one glass of alcohol, one wine glass, or this amount of alcohol, I can manage it, because you might end up not being able to manage it, and then it becomes detrimental to you as a person, not only to you, even to your health. Okay? So please be awake to your vices, things that can bring you down. Is it gambling? Is it women? Because even the most successful people who have indulged themselves in women, they end up losing everything. Okay? So is it self-sabotage? So understand yourself, understand your vices, understand your weaknesses, so that you're able to be successful. Okay? Number 4, another thing that makes you not successful is not honoring your own commitment. Guys, how can you expect people to be committed to you when you're not even committed to your own self? Okay? The biggest detriment will be you saying you're gonna do something and not doing it. Okay? Because honoring your commitment means keeping a promise to yourself. Yeah? It's about being reliable and trustworthy, even when no one else is watching. You say, if I say I'm going to shoot this video, even if no one is watching, I have to wake up and shoot this video, because I'm going to honor myself. Before I even honor anybody, I'm going to take this opportunity to honor myself. Okay? Impact on success. Okay? When you're consistently following through on what you say you're going to do, you build a reputation with yourself, not with other people, with yourself. Like, you build a good relationship, a reliable self-discipline. Like, I have Julia, I know you have my back. Like, I know you have my back. If you say you're gonna do something, you're going to do it. And the mind keeps a record of the things that you honor. Like, your mind is able to say, so for example, you say you're gonna start a business and you never did. Your mind keeps scores. It says, so next time you say you're gonna start another business. Guess what? Your mind reminds you. You remember the last time you said you're gonna start a business? You didn't start. So now look at you now. You say you're gonna do this. We don't trust you. We can't trust you. We are not. In fact, you are your greatest enemy. Not other people saying we don't trust you. It's you not being able to be reliable to yourself. And then your mind keeps scores. Okay? So you have to honor yourself. The greatest detriment to yourself is not honoring yourself. So now, how do you expect other people to honor you when you don't honor the things that you say you're gonna do? How are people going to keep promises to you when you don't keep promises to yourself? That's being a fraud. Honestly, you are operating from a fraud place, because you're saying this person is not keeping their promises, but you don't also keep a promise to yourself. So success goes hand in hand in keeping promises of the things that you said you're going to do. You know why you have low self-confidence when it comes to starting anything? It's because you did not honor yourself the last time. Okay, so if you want to have self-confidence of starting something, is when you start even the smallest thing, follow through with it, because it builds, I trust you, I know when you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Okay, so it's very important that you don't fail to honor commitment that you have set for yourself, because you lose the self-belief and the confidence, so making it very hard to achieve any future goals. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say. Number 5 of why people do not succeed is because they involve themselves in dishonest dealings. Okay, so your network is your net worth, your name is your brand. Don't forget that the name Julia is a brand. Okay, so you have to guard your name by doing the things that are honorable. Okay, most people or businesses grow because of referrals. I'm telling you guys, I've been in business right now for like 3 years, and I can tell you for a fact that most of my businesses come from the referrals of the clients that I'm serving already. Like someone will say, if you need this thing, talk to Julia. So it's very important when you're doing anything that you're honorable. Okay, because this is a funny thing. The same people that are doing shady deals with you are the same people who are gonna tell people of how you cannot be trusted. Are you seeing? They come to you to entice you with these deals and say, can you do this for us so that we give you this? And they are the same people who will go and tell other people, you know, you can't trust this person, she cannot be trusted. So you have to really guard your network. Yeah, because your network is your net worth. So if you want to grow, most of the things that you will do, even jobs, people refer you. They say, do you want someone who is very good in accounting? I know someone that works in this ABC organization that you can talk to, because I have known her since she started that organization, and I feel like it's someone that you can keep in your business, or someone you can employ in your business to be able to do a good job. So it's always referrals. Is such a fundamental in both personal and professional relationships. Yeah, because trust is a foundation upon which everything else is built on. Dishonest dealings can severe damage your reputation, leading to loss of trust from other people, and then you never get to enjoy the fruits of growing because of referrals, are growing because people can call you. People can call you and say, yeah, if you're looking for someone to do this work, and I've seen even this in most cases where, for example, people who do tiling, house tiling, people use people who have done previous jobs, because you can see the job speaks for itself, and people can say, this person came to my place and they did a good job, so if you want someone to do for you this and this thing, please call this person, and they give out their number. Are you seeing how it's so easy for you to never grow if you continuously have shady dealings, or you do things that are not are dishonest? It's so easy for you to never grow even if you have knowledge, because people are like, I can't trust this person. True success is built on the foundation of integrity. True success is built on the foundation of integrity, transparency, and ethical behaviors. Please always note that those who rely on dishonest method often find that their success is fleeting and unstable, because a very small deal can cause you so much ripple effect that can end up you losing a business, or losing good chances of opportunity to get employed to good organization because of just one referral. If you're looking for a job in a very reputable organization and they call the HR of your previous organization and this person cannot vouch for you, can you see how you're losing an opportunity to grow, to be successful? So you have to stand on business of knowing that regardless of what is happening, I have to do honorable things because my name is my brand. My name is what will create network of people who can always come back over and over because they know I don't cut corners. I am going to deliver what I say I'm going to deliver. And let me tell you, even the businesses that survive or thrive on dishonesty, yeah, they take advantage of people. They might look successful for the time being, but let me tell you, the end goal, the end results is that they never are successful. They seem as if they're successful when they're starting because they take, they take dishonest dealing and they steal from people or they lie to people. So those people look as if they're successful, okay? But if you want to create a long-term success, please make sure that you operate within the limits of an honorable person, a person who can be vouched for because of the kind of work that you do, okay? So number six is why you cannot be successful is because allowing distractions, okay? Let me tell you, the number of people who can be successful, but they're not successful because of distractions. They are the things that they have put in their life that are very destructive. And we talked about this. You can take an hour reading a book, or you can take an hour scrolling through your phone. Two people doing an activity, but one is building that person and the other one is probably destructive. And you can take an hour scrolling on your phone, but for something that is helpful to you, okay? But look at these two people. It's just a choice. The same hour, but different choices. One will choose to scroll on their phone, and the other one will choose to do something constructive with their time, okay? So both of them have an opportunity to be successful. It's just the choices that you make with the distractions that you allow in your life, okay? So lost time spent on distractions is time lost on pursuing your goals. Every time you take a distraction, you give up achieving your goal or developing skills or working on important projects, okay? The cumulative effect can significantly delay your progress and achievement. So you can reach there, but instead of getting there in 2 years, you're getting there in 10 years. Because when you could have been doing something that can grow you faster, you are busy being distracted. And let me tell you, we all get distracted. The number of times I have gotten myself distracted and I just pull myself backwards. I keep telling myself, if the phone is what is distracting you, if you're on a certain app, probably on TikTok or you're on Instagram or you're on YouTube, and you keep feeling yourself like you're being distracted, you pull away from the thing that you should be doing. For me, my way of dealing with that is completely cut it off, because we all have a certain willpower to either do something or not follow through. So I know I cannot say I will manage my time. I can watch TikTok for 20 minutes. So I'm like, just cut it off. Just always try your level best that your assets, your liabilities are paid by your assets, okay? So in any case, just try to put money where, like for example, when you put money in the circle, when you save in the circle, what that means is you get dividends. So you can actually use the dividends to buy for your liabilities. You can decide, I'm going to save a certain amount of money every month for me to get a dividend of like 60,000 at the end of the year. So you can say 30,000 I'm going to reinvest back into doing something that is important, or something that is going to generate money, and then I can spend the 30,000 and YOLO, if that is what I'm saying. So always look for a way to put money where you're able to put money in assets so that your liabilities are paid through your assets. Okay, so number 9, traditional wealth is not about money but about your mindset. Okay, so traditional view in wealth is often thought in terms of financial assets such as money, property, and investments that are passed down from one generation to another. That's what we call generational wealth. Okay, a mindset perspective, while financial assets are important, the mindset surrounding the wealth, money management, and personal growth is what truly sustains the growth, generational wealth over time. Does it make sense? Like, financial assets are important. The mindset surrounding the wealth, the money management, the mindset, the mind that you have around protecting your money, investing your money, growing your money is what is truly sustain the generational wealth. Because if, for example, your father was a businessman and he left for you some assets to manage, okay, how you manage them and how you work around investing over time, and and how you grow as a person so that you know how to manage these things is what is truly generational wealth. Because we have people who are left money, but look at them today. There are people whose great grandmother left for them assets and and generational wealth, but because they didn't have a mindset to keep. There's a difference between the mindset of generating money, and the mindset surrounding the keeping of the money, or the investing, or the growing of the things. There are people who are left things, assets, buildings, hotels, and we can see them today slowly disintegrate because the people who are left are not able to manage the assets that were left to them. Okay, and that's why it is important for people who, we as parents, to not only make generational wealth, but to teach our kids in a way that once we leave for them this generational wealth, it's going to be sustainable to the other generation and the next generation. Because what will be the importance of leaving for your generation wealth that they cannot be able to manage? Okay, so there has to be a mindset shift for you to sustain the generation wealth. People don't make money using money, but shifting the belief around money, how to acquire, grow it, allow it to work for them. Okay, so money is a byproduct of a shift mindset. Generational wealth is a byproduct of the shift in your mindset. Okay, I hope you guys, I'm trying to make sense. There's a way, I always say, there's a way the money that you're receiving and the money that you want to get cannot meet the same person. Like, let me break it down. There is a certain amount of money you're making right now because of the person you are. Okay, so if you're making 100,000, if you want to make 500,000, that money cannot come to a person who is making 100,000. There has to be shift within yourself and in so many things so that you are able to be paid 500,000. Are you getting? So the money is not the problem. It's you to get to a place where the 500,000 comes to you because of the kind of person you have grown to become. Get to a place where you're successful. If you want to get to a place where you have grown and you're successful, and you're not in the percentage of the people who are not successful, as we said, number one, you have to commit long term to anything that you start. You have to give it time. Number two, you have to stop procrastinating. Please start today. Please start without having the full picture of what you're doing. Just start, because you learn as you start. Then you have to get to a place where you have to get to a place where you acquire knowledge. You have to be relentless in acquiring knowledge. And not only acquiring knowledge is not power. Implementation is the power. You have to get to a place where you invest in your knowledge. If you need to get to buy courses, if you need to pay for trainings. Pay for training, because that's what helps you to get knowledge that is going to propel you forward and become successful. That's why you understand your weaknesses, what are the vices that can bring you down, so that you're able to manage, work on them, so that they never come in between you and your successes. Okay, that's where you honor your commitment to yourself. You have to be committed to the person, to yourself, before you commit to anything else. You have to be able to get to a place where you keep promises to yourself before you expect other people to keep their promises. You have to stop dealing with dishonest dealings if you want to be successful. You have to get to a place where you protect your brand, and that is your name. Okay, so stop working with people who compromise your brand, who compromise who you are as a person. Distraction from your life if success is what you want. So there's no two way about it. You can't have distraction and want success. So you have to be committed to removing any distractions for you to be successful. You have to get to a place where your liabilities are paid by your assets. You also have to get to a place where for you to acquire generational wealth, and you have to build a mindset that is able not only to acquire generational wealth, but to sustain the generational wealth over time. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.